Greetings makers. So this is the follow-up on the previous video on how to make the templates for a boot covering. So I took a boot, stuffed it with bubble wrap to make it nice and strong, and then did the kitchen wrap and duct tape method to wrap around the boot to create templates. So I then drew on the lines of where I wanted the cuts, and the resulting was 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 piece boot covering set. So that leaves you with all the seams hidden away, and that was kind of my intention. That's what I was intending to move towards. So really that's where I wanted to go. So I then took those templates of duct tape, put them to one side, traced them out onto paper, and then from there trace them onto foam. So now we're going to attempt to put these babies together and see how we go. So we'll go from there. So it's not going to be an easy build, I don't think, because you're kind of figuring things out as you go. But it's an experiment after all. I opted for a 5mm. I'm going to go for an overlap that way to give yourself a boot top. So that's the way I've opted to do it. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm hoping that that should work. So let's see how things work out. So right, so obviously this is going to curve easy enough. I'm using 5mm polyprops foam, so it's nice and easily manipulated. And then once I get these things together, this is not actually going to go together because that will eventually have straps here that will tie the whole thing together, like so. So I don't need to worry too much about that piece at the moment. I just need to get this piece onto it. So start by marking those up. So because essentially it's a piece that fits directly on the top, you just need to have a mark point. So thereabouts. So at least you've got a registration mark to tie things. You've got the edges, and then you've got another point there as well. So I'm just going to now overlap that a little bit. Do that again, a little bit further down. And then I'm going to mark a line. This would be my glue mark. For attaching it to the top. So mark that there. And then turn it over. And then have a rough mark on that side, which you can just about see, which will be where I glue on this side. So then we have a glue mark on that side and that side. I'll put those together like that. Now these two bits are going to go together, which is part of your boot cover. So they're going to be joined together there. Couldn't really make them as a piece because when I put them together I want them to have a little bit of a curve on it. I'm not joining this the rest of the boot because it's going to be joined by straps, because although I want to keep it together, I want to keep the flexibility of the foot movement. So that's the reason I haven't done that. So yeah, so we'll glue those together that way. And I'm just thinking, do I need to bevel them in a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to just put a slight bevel in it towards the front because I just want it to jut out slightly. So it's only about halfway that I'm actually doing it, so that's just halfway. I've beveled it on one side, but it's square on the other. And the reason I want to do that is just so when I put it together, it's going to sort of create more of a protrusion. So again, repeat on the other side. So just have a slight bevel on that side, but a square on that side. So here we go. Let's start gluing these pieces together. So first things first, I'm going to glue this part and this part. I'm going to apply the glue. Then to those edges there. Just going to get a slight bevel on those actually before we start. And it's the same with this, which is going to be the midsection. And then this is going to be the toe. So I'm going to just heat all these up. Start with the toe. Sorry about that, a bit of cable tangle there. So I'm just heating the inside. Just because I want to get a bit of a curve on it, just to help with the gluing process. I'm just going to get a polystyrene ball. Pretty much pick that up from any hobby store. I got mine from the range. Just flatten that down over the ball. Just let it cool. That just gives it a little bit of a bend, a little bit of a curve, just so when I glue it together it's just going to go a bit easier. I'm also going to put an elastic on the bottom of that piece so it goes under the sole of your foot so it remains in place. Thing is, I don't want to do that until after I've sprayed the individual parts because they're going to be yellow. And what I don't want to do is I want black elastics on it because the underboot is going to be black, so therefore I want it to sort of disappear into that. So that's the reason I don't really want to do that yet. So I'll do that once I've sprayed it and put those in place. But I'll do an overview of that once I've actually done it. So again, just putting a bit of a curve into it, just to help with the formation of it. Actually, before I do that, why did I do it? Okay, I'll just get my templates again because I want to put the heel section in. So I'm just gonna mark where that is. I'm just going to freehand a line going up to the top corner, which will make it sit over the heel. So what I'm doing with that is I'm just making a slice line just to give it a little bit more flexibility. I'm not going to fill it, I'm just giving it a little bit more flexibility so you don't get overly stress on it when you come to do it. So let's do this again. So line that up. So I've already marked it on the templates where it is. So now I'm just following that line and putting it on the other side. And I know it goes into that corner. So just put that line in again. There we go. Simple as that. And that's just going to give me a lot more flexibility within that section. Whoops. Do that. I think I went quite deep enough on that one, so a little bit more pressure and just go through it again. That feels a little bit more like it. Okay, good. Right, let's start gluing these parts together, and then we'll start getting to. Oh yeah, I was going to heat these, wasn't I? The thing is with the polyprox foam, now put those slices in, what you can tend to find is the way that the foam works is now that I've heated it up, whereas with with foot stuff, it opens up, this actually closes up and can actually fuse it all back together again, which I don't want. So, so you just got to go back in and open that back up again manually, just to make sure that you don't lose the line that you put in. So if you fuse it together again, then you'll be back where you started, so you might as well not have bothered. So just a little something I picked up since I've been using the foam. So when I've done detail scores and stuff like that on helmets and stuff and other armour, where I put detail in using the score and heat technique, it actually doesn't work very well on this foam. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to fuse together. So I have to kind of pull that apart before then stretching it over the ball. Okay, right, let's start gluing these little bits together, so then we're in a good place to at least have a good look at where we're at in terms of how the whole thing hangs together. So move the templates out of the way so I don't end up with glue all over those. Okay. Let's start with this one. So just where I marked that line, just put glue across it. Careful not to get it on your other parts. Flip it over. Like I say, I haven't heated this section, so I didn't feel the need, because it's only 5mm. It's going to stretch around the boot anyway. And once you put the strappings on, that will kind of give it the bit that it's the strength that it needs. Right, so leave those two to cook. Over there. Let's do the toe bit next, because I just want to get these seams done. So that's the two bits that pull together to form the toe. To really go off. Don't want to risk that pulling apart because I didn't leave the glue long enough. Hopefully it's warmed up here, so it should be a bit easier. And then just the two seams to join those inside and outside edges together. Okay, let that go off. What I'll do is I'll bring the boot back in and put all the parts on the boot and tape it on with just standard masking tape, just to put it into position so you've got an idea about what we've achieved. And we're putting these bits together. So obviously this is a non-glue piece. That's going to go over this section here. So let's start by putting that in place because we know where that goes. I'm going to tape it under the boot. So that's going to go on that section like that. It's not fully fixed, it's just tacked into place. So let's have a look. So I'm only doing the one boot today, obviously I've got both boots to do. But I just want to be a bit careful. That's over there. Okay, so I'm going to start in the middle of the registration mark. We should start at the edge, don't we? Yeah, start at the edge. Line up the registration mark. Follow it round. Just make sure that's all in place. So do it from that. There we go. Done. It's going to go around your main, over there a little bit, so yeah, so it's going to go over your main boot section there, so let's tape that up a little bit. Let's do a few bits of tape. Like I say, it should all go sort of quite flush together, so around the back of the boot. So let's tack this in place. A little bit of masking tape stretched over both parts. That by itself won't hold very long, but putting in where essentially I'm going to be putting the straps gives me a good mock up. Right, so what you end up with is quite a gap there, so it doesn't quite fit flush. I suppose that's lesson learned there, is that I need to make the template slightly bigger in order to really get all the way around the boot, but I think that will be okay for what I need. I mean, from the front it'll look fine. So, right, so I'm going to do the toe piece next. Really try and get those seams clean. Minimum amount of work later on. Up slightly, and then that's why it's good to mock it up. Put the toe piece on first, strap that in place. Back to that that piece in a moment. Let's get these two pieces done. So that sort of fits around your ankle piece. It depends how much of your boot you want to cover. I mean, if you want to cover the whole thing, obviously you've got to go about it a slightly different way. I didn't want to do that. There we go. Over there, over the back. And this bit makes sense now. Okay. So essentially that's what I've done to cover the boot. So quite a simple sort of technique. But that painted yellow is going to give me a yellow boot while still keeping my original black boots inside. So which I'll be a lot happier about, because, you know, like I say, they're good generic boots, so I don't want to lose that. I can see already that yeah, a little bit of heat and stuff like that, and it's going to work around fine. So talking of which, let's form this into place now. So hit your heat gun. Masking tape doesn't like it. Enough heat. Let that cool now in place, and there you are. So there'll be a strap going underneath the just in front of the heel here to hold that piece in place, and then also a piece of elastic here to hold the two bits together as well on Velcro. Oops, so masking tape doesn't like the heat. This bit where the masking tape is will also have a piece of elastic going through there, and equally so will this toe piece, which will stretch back to the other pieces. So that way I've got movement and flexibility within the parts, because they move, but because they'll be strapped in place with elastics, they will stay in place. So turn you around again. Take that stuffing out now. That in place. Obviously this is not set to my height, so it will look different again. Oops, a daisy. essentially that's really coming together now. So once they're sprayed yellow, they'll really jump out. Obviously I've got the thigh parts, I've got the knee parts that I showed in an earlier video that I've already done. They're going to be attached to the thigh armour, so they're permanent, but again they'll be on a strap, so they're kind of disconnected from it as well, and then there'll be an elastic going behind, so they're never going to fall down or fall off, because they'll be secured around the back of the knee, and they'll have the detachment from the thigh armour. So basically the leg will be in 3 parts. The top 2 parts, the knee and the thigh, will join, and the thigh will join to the breastplate. So everything's going to hinge together, so there'll be no dropping down of pieces, sliding down your leg and that kind of stuff. It will fit on the inside on Velcro and elastic. And then the boots will be yellow and they'll jump out as well. So I've still got the belt to do. Finish the emblem and the strapping. You know, obviously it's a work in progress. It's still going. I'll do the other boot now, and then we should have those secured, and I'm going to get those boot parts sprayed up sort of in the next week. So it's really starting to come together. So I hope this has been of interest. Again, very simple technique, and regardless of what colour you decide to go with the boots, obviously I'm going yellow for this particular cosplay, but I could use the same thing, go brown, go black, depending on what I was looking to do, you know. And again, if you need to change the template because you've got a different set of boots, if you've got much more heavier boots with like a platform sole, sort of like biker boots, but you still want to cover them up, again, that's a really good way of doing it. Is you're still getting a generic template to fit over that particular boot. So whilst it's generic, it's also specific, because it will fit in with the particular boot style that you're going for. So, and again, even if you've got boots that are not great and you just want to keep them covered up, then also, you know, a template like that is also going to do a really good job of actually covering them up and be able to move them from boot to boot. So if your feet are the same size all the way through, and then the template should move boot to boot with you. It's only if it's a particularly different style. And equally, even if you've got short boots, because it's designed to fit around your leg, the fact that they're ankle boots won't make a difference either, because it will cover the bottom part of your leg anyway. All it will mean is the backs will come flusher together, in order for you to really sort of cover that up, because you haven't got the extra bit of the boot that's making it stick out a little bit more. So yeah, have a go yourself, see how you get on. I hope it was useful to you. Again, Instagram, UK Foamsmith and Cosplay. Facebook, you can find me on UK Foamsmiths. And keep watching, subscribe, like, comment. Look forward to seeing you again.